The jungle slept. Under a suffocating blanket of humidity, the usual cacophony of life fell silent. Only the rustle of leaves and the drip of condensation dared break the silence. High above, the moon, a crimson stain in the black velvet sky, cast long, eerie shadows. It bathed the jungle floor in an unholy light, transforming familiar shapes into grotesque phantoms. An ancient energy, potent and sinister, pulsed from its depths, seeping into the very soul of the jungle. Deep within the emerald embrace of the jungle, a troop of monkeys huddled together, their usual playful chatter stilled. Their eyes, normally filled with mischief, now reflected the eerie red glow of the moon. They shivered, not from the cool night air, but from an unseen force that coursed through them. The air crackled with an unspoken anticipation, a sense of impending change. Tonight, the jungle held its breath, bracing itself for the storm brewing in its heart. The monkeys stirred, their bodies convulsing as the crimson light washed over them. Their simple minds, usually consumed by the basic instincts of survival, were flooded with images, thoughts, and emotions beyond their comprehension. Their teeth, usually used for cracking nuts and peeling fruit, elongated, sharpened into predatory points. The once gentle slope of their brows receded, giving way to a more pronounced, almost human-like forehead. Muscles, wiry and strong from a life spent swinging through the canopy, bulked and contorted, reshaping their frames. Their once playful grunts evolved into guttural growls, laced with an intelligence that sent chills down the spines of the few remaining jungle creatures. The transformation was swift, brutal, and complete. These were no longer mere beasts of burden, but something else, something far more sinister, born under the baleful gaze of the blood moon. Dr. Alara Morgan, a respected anthropologist known for her work with primate behavior, felt a tremor of unease as she ventured deeper into the heart of the jungle. The oppressive silence, broken only by the frantic chirping of insects, was unsettling. Years of experience had taught her to respect the delicate balance of the ecosystem, and tonight that balance felt dangerously skewed. A low growl, barely audible above the rustling leaves, sent a shiver down her spine. It was a primal sound, full of menace and intelligence, unlike anything she'd heard before from the monkeys she'd been studying for years. She dismissed it as her imagination, a trick of the light and shadow playing on her nerves. But deep down, a seed of doubt, a chilling premonition began to take root in her mind. The jungle floor, usually teeming with life, was eerily deserted. Insects, usually drawn to her headlamp's beam, kept a safe distance. The air hung heavy, thick with the metallic scent of blood. Alara's heart pounded against her ribs, a drumbeat of fear against the backdrop of the jungle's silence. As she pushed forward, the foliage parted, revealing a sight that sent a wave of nausea crashing over her. The mangled carcasses of several small, gray-skinned creatures, their large black eyes staring vacantly at the blood-red moon, lay strewn across the jungle floor. These were no earthly creatures. She had seen their kind before, silent guardians the locals called them, protectors of the jungle. They were rarely seen and even more rarely harmed. But here they lay, drained of blood, their bodies grotesquely contorted. Surrounding them, their hands and snouts smeared with crimson, stood the monkeys, their eyes gleaming with a terrifying intelligence. The monkeys parted as their leader emerged from the shadows. He was larger than the others, his fur darker, streaked with silver. His eyes, burning with an almost unnatural intelligence, locked onto Alara's, and a wave of pure primal fear washed over her. He wore a crude crown fashioned from the bones of some unfortunate creature, and around his neck hung a necklace of alien teeth.
He raised his hand, his long, sharp claws glinting in the moonlight, and the other monkeys fell silent. He spoke then, his voice a guttural rasp, yet strangely clear, resonating with an ancient power. He spoke of the blood moon, of the power it bestowed upon them, of their destiny to rule this jungle, to overthrow the silent guardians and claim their rightful place as the dominant species.
The city, a beacon of light and progress nestled on the edge of the sprawling jungle, remained oblivious to the horrors unfolding within its heart. People went about their nightly routines, unaware of the crimson moon hanging low in the sky, its baleful light casting long, distorted shadows across their seemingly mundane lives. But something was amiss. A palpable tension hung in the air, a sense of unease that settled over the city like a shroud. The statues that adorned the city's parks and plazas, depicting the silent guardians in all their otherworldly glory, began to weep. A thick, viscous fluid, crimson in the unnatural light, oozed from their eyes, staining their cold, stone faces in a macabre parody of tears. Panic spread like wildfire through the city streets, whispers of ancient prophecies and forgotten gods on the lips of terrified citizens.